The Shy, Season 5, Episode 9, title, I'm looking for a new thing. Ladies and gentlemen, I go by the name of the Black Abstract. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor. Just real quick favor. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so we can do this again. Now listen, before we get started, I want to give a shout out to my sponsors. It's PrayForBuffalo.com. Go over there. You could get you a shirt, hat, a plethora of things. That's cool. So again, that's PrayForBuffalo.com. We got yard signs, etc., etc. It was thought of and made and created from the tragic events that took place in Buffalo, May 14th, 2022. The shooting at Tops. It's my way of just trying to, give back and do my due diligence. So go over there, PrayForBuffalo.com. They're the sponsors of this video. Now let's get into it. The Shy. Right off the bat, we see Kemet running. Yes, Kemet. That's what I call Keisha and Emmett. We see Kemet. And I told you, if y'all could think of a better name, put it in the comments. Nobody put a better name, so that's the name we're giving them. Kemet. I take going for a jog, and we forget Keisha actually used to run track, so I like that. That's a little callback to, her running. This episode started off with a Nicki Minaj song, and I'm like, yo, I never heard that Nicki Minaj song before. That was pretty dope. I don't know what it was this episode, but the soundtrack to this episode was banging. I was like, yo, they doing a good job. Whoever is in charge of the music. Listen, y'all need to get an abstract song on there, man. I got joints for y'all, man. I just wrote a joint for a boxer. Micaiah Reps from the town. She's 0-3 professional box. Listen, hit me up. Anyway, we see Emmett decides to go through and tell Keisha about what Tiff did, and automatically we see Keisha's visibly and understandably upset. She had trust in both these people, and why Emmett kind of reassures her that he didn't do anything, she kind of knows his history and his past, so she's like, please don't let me down. And then he kind of reassures her that he didn't do anything, but he sees that she's still sad, and he's like, why are you still sad? And she's like, I'm disappointed in Keisha. So I understand it. I'm like, yo, I get it. Aside from that, we see that my other favorite couple, are having a chit chat. The parents of Emmett. That's what I like to call them. Emmett's parents. Are, having a discussion about their wedding. Jada doesn't want to do a lavish, extravagant wedding. She kind of just wants to do something mellow and chill. It's the complete opposite from, her husband to be. He wants to go all out. He's talking about he want to invite 200 cousins. Who the hell invite 200 cousins? Like, you got to pay for those plates. So he got some paper. That's what that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, yo, you know what? He must got some cash. Cause she like, yo, I don't want to dip in my savings. He like, yo, I'm dipping all my savings. He was like, I've been waiting years to marry you. I'm trying to do it right. I want to do a special. But Jada just literally just wants something simple and plain. Because she like, listen, you've been married 3 times. And I was like, dang, he been married 3 times? I didn't even know that. But she's like, yo, you've been married 3 times, Darnell. And it's just, I just wanted something small, like a backyard. Something intimate, just close friends and family. So he's like, all right, I got to find a backyard now. So, he tells her, he obliges to what she says because honestly, it's what she wants. But he says, yo, I'm telling you now, this Bluetooth is going down the aisle with me. And listen, you got to appreciate that because that's what me and my fiance are actually going through right now. We're trying to figure out and decide. I want to do a destination wedding. She wants to do something more traditional. Because her parents, or her mom in particular, is sick and elderly, and she wants her and the mom be able to attend. I'm like, listen, we could get an iPad, and we could just iPad and FaceTime the whole ceremony. That's what I said, but, we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. Hopefully I get my way. So, yeah. Anyway, next we see Duda talking to... old girl from the rock program, and they're discussing some funds that have come up missing, and they're running down a list of names of who did it, And dude is giving his reasons as to why it wouldn't be this person. And then it comes to Q, and he's the only one. And she's like, well, he's like, I'll take care of it. And she's like, you better. And he's like, excuse me. She said, listen, you brought the man into my business, and now he's stealing from my business. So you better take care of it. So we go through. We got a little adventure with Duda this episode. We kind of seen reminiscence and a flashback of the old Duda, and I'm like, it's crazy how he virtually went from being banished from the city to now he's just back to running things and no consequences or just no backlash. I know he's not the mayor, but it's like, then you get kind of, I don't know, it's weird. But anyway, we see Trig is having issues with his I don't know what they are. They're having issues in that particular department, which is weird because he obviously just got up from laying down, and they were doing something that looks like, but he gets up and he's putting on his clothes, and like always clockwork, it's an issue. I have no idea why there's no understanding on the behalf of Trig's significant other, if that's what they are, that he obviously has to try to fulfill this so he can get to where he's trying to accomplish. He's trying to accomplish a certain goal, but it seems to be no understanding, and I think that's kind of selfish. But then at the same time, it seems like the argument was started, when her phone went off, like it was something else that was trying to be accomplished. And I don't know. I don't really trust that this particular character, because it's always seems like it's an issue and a problem. There's no understanding on this particular character's side of things. Sometimes you have to mask who you truly are to accomplish what you want to be. Now, when you reach the goal of what you want to be, then yeah, you could kind of change the narrative and be like, listen, I haven't been, it's always a ways around it, but until that point comes, and I see Trig later in the episode saying, I'm not being myself. Now, I get that. He's never truly admitted what he is, what he identifies as. But at the same time, his true self was kind of like a piece of shit person. Like he's bettering himself in life from completely from season 3 when he came on to now. He's a completely different person. He's bettered himself. He's he's a man in the community. So how are you being true to yourself? Because you're lying about, your preference, and you're not even lying. You're just kind of going along with things. So I don't get it. It is what it is, though. Aside from that, we see Kim had that discussion from that clip we saw that got released where they had a discussion. Everybody saw that clip. And I think it's cute that he was like, they both were like, yo, for the first time, I feel like I'm in a real relationship. And he says, for the first time, I feel like I'm in a healthy one. So I thought that was pretty dope, man. We see Kev's mom, Nina, sneaking through his room. Not sneaking. She goes in his room to get his laundry, and she notices he has a PS5. Notices he has some new kicks, and also notices that he has some new clothes, and he got the price tags on there. So automatically, obviously she's gonna assume that he's selling drugs. That's not the wrong conclusion to come to as a parent. A lot of people are like, why would she decide? Why does she think he's selling drugs and blah blah blah? If your kid, if you walked in and he has stacks of money sitting in his dresser, that's the first thing you're gonna think of. They, especially them older, they don't come from that generation where you can make money. You can make tons of money. You can make more money than your parents making YouTube videos. You can make more money than your parents playing video games and getting sponsorships. It's just a new time and age. I ain't gonna say it's obsolete, but the drug game is kind of like, wait, you still doing that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you doing it, okay, cool. You doing it, you successful at it. But it's kind of like, all right, you should be you should do that to kind of lean to get out of it to do something else. And there's so many other ways you can make money. I got one friend who's in the streets whose name I will not say, and I'm trying to get him to transition or just invest behind the music because I'm good at it. And I'm like, yo, it's not like I don't have money on my own. It's like a partnership. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, oh, man, I don't really understand the internet. I'm not into that. You know, when I first got out of jail, that's when the internet was taking off. But I'm like, dude, you've been out of jail for over 10 years. Like, there's no reason why you shouldn't. To me, that's the sign of a true hustler. If you can go on the internet and people you don't know from a can of paint can buy shirts from you just because they believe in your brand or whatnot, that to me is the true marking of a hustler. You know, if you can make this YouTube thing get monetized. A lot of you guys that support my channel, I think you guys, I don't know y'all impersonally from a can of paint. We walk past each other in the streets, I wouldn't probably know who you are. And that's not saying that's a bad thing. That's just I love the support. That's just the power of the internet. You know, a lot of you that watch my channels faithfully and comment and stuff, that's to me is the markings of not only a hustler, but just somebody that's, you know, maybe you just like my content on certain things, or you like my opinion or views. And, you know, some of my friends they just petrified to do it. I mean, they have strong opinions and they do. It's like my friend with the dreads who did the Raising Canaan with me. You know, I've been trying to get him to start a channel, and he's starting to ease into it, but he was like, oh, everything's not for everybody. And I was like, well, you haven't even tried. Like, just try. You know what I mean? All you gotta do is like turn your phone on and do it. But, you know, different strokes for different folks. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. So yeah, we saw that. Next we see so we saw that, and then you know, they have a conversation with Kevin that we'll get to later on. Next we see Jake's playing games and Papa comes over and they get into a little spat. And, you know, something Papa said kind of got to me, and it's just like, y'all haven't been there for me. And it's just like, yo, what the fuck you been going through, Papa? Like, you really haven't been, you've been an asshole from the start of the season. You've been shitting on Jake, and then, you know, publicly in front of the whole thing. And you kind of went through the backlash you were getting. But, I mean, that was something you caused. And then why should I be there for me when you try to make me the butt of your jokes? You get what I'm saying? So, they doing Papa's character wrong, because Papa obviously was one of the more likable ones, and I don't know if they kind of villainizing him or they just don't have really nothing for his story arc. But I kind of got what he was saying, but it just was just like, it doesn't really apply to you because, you know, you've been choosing to hang with a shitbag person who's a shitbag. He's known for killing somebody. Like, I don't get it. Like, it just don't make sense. We see Duda goes and visits oh boy, I forget dude's name, man. And I was like, yo, where the dude? This is the dude Keisha used to mess with. This dude that used to sell the girls that had a prostitute. I believe in the one season, Amani tried to get the girl out of his care. That's what it was. Okay. Because I was like, well, okay, what up? But he was like, how you been? I'm homeless. Because obviously I think Duda and them interjected. Somebody interjected to where they had to he had to shut down operations because I think it was a threat, like, yo, nigga, you gonna be out of here. So I guess he's working for Q now, or maybe he was before as well. But he's pretty much putting the idea in his head, like, yo, you got to take care of Q. Telling Duda, like, dude got a gambling habit. He's at the casino right now. I'm not telling you what casino because he doesn't want me to tell you, but you got to take him out. And I thought Duda was about to knock him off. He was like, yo, you better watch yourself. He was like, yo, I'm just saying, man, you got to kill that old motherfucker, man. He was like, you level-headed. You understand? This motherfucker right here, he just don't get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just fly off the handle. And that's kind of weird to see with Q, because Q being such an OG, and then seeing how he was in season 4, he was very thought out. Everything was thought out. He was real strategic. I kind of hate this. I hate what they did with his character and how easily he went out, because he's always had protection around him. And if you watch the first season that he was in, so it's kind of like, okay, but I get it. It's just shy, you know, nothing that makes sense ever. Next we see Tiff wake up, and she admits to my boy Iman that what she did with Emmett. And I tell you, man, this is one of the most sensible, understanding people and dudes that I've ever saw, because ain't no way that he shouldn't be wilding out and flying off the handle. But he asked, "Yo, are you still in love with him?" And she's like, "No, I don't love him like that." And she was like, "Oh," he like, "Well, was it a power play? Just a power, like trying to control the situation? Like you mad because he with your friend?" And she's telling him what it is. Like, and we all knew that's what it was. Like, it's one of them things. Like, I'm not happy with you, but I don't want to see you happy with nobody else either. You know what I'm saying? That's how it be, man. That's how my ex was, man. She broke on me and wanted to be happy, whatever. That situation didn't work out. I had moved on, and it was she was trying to mess my stuff because she was miserable and shit. He was like, "Yo, you weird as hell." But they had a good conversation, and he was understanding. He told her he grew up in a household where people were always yelling, and he realized like it never got anywhere. So he learned to just sit back and relax. And he said he smoked a lot of weed, but he said he learned to sit back and listen. And when you listen, you'll find the reasoning why something happened or what was on the person's mind. And I was like, yo, that's good ass logic. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's dope. Communication. Everybody talk about communication, relationships. That's what this is. This was communication. This is some grown ass man adult shit. This ain't no fucking yelling and blah blah. So I be trying to tell people, man, I ain't gonna say no names. I ain't trying to put nobody out there, but we could come to a resolve or a understanding just by talking. We don't have to yell at each other. Next, we see them confront Kevin, and it gets ugly. He's visibly upset, but I just think he should take them to one of the games and just let them see for themselves, just to kind of get them peace of mind. He making it more deep than what it is, but he has to understand where they're coming from. They are parents, and they found a stack of money, and the first thing they're going to assume is drugs. They're not from this generation. They're not going to believe that. So the way he reacted was understandable, but it was just like, just take him. Or he could have asked the girl, yo, tell him where I got this money from. Or call his girlfriend, yo, where'd I get this money from? Playing video game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or, all right, yeah, I'm going to let y'all come. No, y'all got to take this from me, blah, blah, blah. But Kevin is, I don't know. Everybody like Kevin's acting. He kind of fucking he's a boring ass character, to be honest with you, dude. And he's super emotional about everything. But he's a kid, so I know he got some growing, and he's been through a lot of trauma in his life. So we see Shad decides to talk to old girl and try to get an understanding. That exchange was hilarious because he's realizing, like, listen, everything ain't based on emotion. Because we always say, like, females, when they decide to do something with a dude, there's always emotions involved, and that's not the case. A lot of times, some of the times dudes be more emotional and than the female will be. But she's like, listen, I'm trying to just do what I need to do. I like nice things, and I'm just doing what I got to do to get them. Because he's like, yeah, I don't tell you, it was just a one-time thing. I don't want you to think it's gonna happen again. And she's like, yeah, I wasn't planning on it. So now he's like, what? And he's like, you don't give a shit about nothing, do you? She's like, nah. He's like, ain't you sleeping with Rosalind? And she's like, yeah, sometimes I do that too. Like, yo, that shit was funny as hell though. So now he's got a little this guilt that he did something to Trig, but Trig don't give two fucks about the girl. So it's kind of like, if you tell her, Trig probably just like, I don't know. Only thing Trig will be like, wow, you could have got caught. That's it. Duda decides to tell Tracy that he's thinking about knocking off Q, and she doesn't really like that because she thinks. Listen, with her, she knows and accepts it, but she like, I don't know. But at the same time, that is her son's father. I had to remember that Q was her son's father. And she said that, and he's like, well, your son not here no more. She like, yo, get out my office. I said, yo, Duda's but savage, yo. It's official, man. It's Emmett and Duda. Those is my favorite characters, dude. Duda is fucking, I just like that dude, man. I don't know why. We see Emmett and Tiff go to the art gallery, and we see Shaw's girlfriend there, or ex-girlfriend. I don't know if they're still together. And they're looking at paintings, and we see right then and there that something's going to happen. The way Keisha was staring at that painting too. And Emmett was staring at her, and he was like, yo, it ain't always gonna be like this. I want to tell you that. Like, she was like, I know. And they like promise, and that's that ambition right there. That's that. It's going, you know what I mean? Like, we gotta focus. We gonna have a future. Like, I like that right there. Like, I'm like, that's dope. On my screen gotta freeze up now. Going back now, we see now it goes forward, and we see that Duda is talking to his financial advisor, and she's telling him a bunch of small businesses, like, yo, your piece of things are what's keeping you afloat, but you should buy some businesses, and that will help you out. Buy one more business and make it a chain and put one out somewhere else. And Smokey's comes up. And he's like, yeah, you know, it used to be Sonny's, but the young man that got it brought it up from underneath his nose. But it's a line around the corner, so he's going to make Emmett a proposition. So I was like, yo, I knew it was foreshadowing something. And obviously we see that it's going. I don't know. I don't know if Emmett's going to have some pushback, because, you know, this is kind of like his lifelong goal, and we heard him talking about he wanted to expand Smokey's anyway. So I don't know if he's going to try to partner with Duda or what he's going to do. We'll see what happens, though. But that'd be dope if, you know, he could still get the money and then still run the franchises too, like kind of just going into business. But I don't know if he wants to buy it right from under him or if he wants to just, what's the name? Anyway, whatever, it's going to help out Emmett. So I think that'll be dope, man. If he could, but Duda's shady. That's the only thing, because we always know Duda's the one that got Jason Mitchell's character out of there. You know what I'm saying? Next we see Kevin and Gemma and all in video games, and Jabari or Bar, whatever the fuck dude name is, decides to come over, and it was somewhat of a Western standoff, and then Gemma comes over and she says it's okay, and he apologizes. She gives him a hug, and I'm like, look at Gemma being grown. Like, how is she the most adult one in this house? And we all know why Jabari did it. Obviously, he wanted to get close to homegirl, but I think he genuine was truly sorry. Nah, I don't. That dude is a slime ball, a sleaze ball, and I don't trust him or believe him. The funniest moment of the episode is D-Ray Davis and Emmett's exchange when he comes to Smokey's, and obviously Emmett is, visibly, he's visibly excited to see somebody that he looks up to. Like, man, your food is free, blah blah blah. Right as he's talking, this D-Ray's girlfriend decides to come in, and he's like, yo, I told you to stay in the car. She's like, oh, I missed you, blah, 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 and just start blowing up his spot. Now, if y'all watch it again, look at the camera cuts to Emmett's face. He is pissed. She starts talking about, his mom's car. I helped you come up with this slogan. Like, pretty much like, yo, he's scamming and shit. So Emmett starts spazzing on him. And he looks around, he's like, oh, no. That was good stuff right there. He's like, man, yo, you paying for this shit now. You ain't getting shit for free. But they want to have an exchange. He's like, yo, listen, I ain't had no friends, so I came up with this persona online, and it helped me get followers, and, I be actually helping people. And Emmett's like, yo, you a fraud, but you know what? You did help me find the love of my life now. But he like, nigga, you fucking, when he said, nigga, you fucking, yo, why you say it like he was his girlfriend or something? That shit was funny as hell, man. But he winds up telling them, like, yo, he winds up telling them he got to pay for one thing, one combo. And I think he said he'll knock something off or whatever. But shit was funny, man. And that'd be funny if D-Ray winds up being like his friend and they wind up hanging out or some shit. I don't know. We see Jake decides to do Papa's Bullshit-ass podcast. And, they're having a discussion about everything that transpired, which I thought was dope. I liked it. We see Jabari and old girl have a heart to heart. She tells him he should write a book, and they kind of come from the same past or the same background, so it's kind of understanding why they would kind of meet up and do what they need to do. So I was like, that's pretty dope. Aside from that, they kiss as well, and then we see that Kevin does the dumbest shit ever. He stores his money at this girl house, and I was like, yo, what's wrong with this kid, man? You don't fucking have no female stash your money that you don't know like that. That girl fucking is a loopy too. Like, I need you to watch my money because, my parents are concerned because they think I might be selling drugs. But instead of me just showing them that I'm not, I'm just going to do all this. And, you're a fucking weirdo. We see Tiff is counting on her weed, and her old fuck buddy winds up FaceTiming her, flirting with her, obviously. And, she tells him, nope, I'm good. I got a man. And we see Iman come in the background. You're like, damn, nigga, was you 6'8"? You're like, no, 6'9", shorty. He's like, oh, okay. Well, so I guess that was just her trying to turn it over a new leaf. Seeing as though, dude is accepting of her fuck ups and flaws and all. That's what females say. He accepts me flaws and all. When they say flaws and all, that means he accept me because I cheated on him and he took me back. We see Darnell donate some money to the Rock Center, to help out Jada and her friend Tracy, and I thought that was pretty cool. We see Shad and Trig decide to have a heart-to-heart, and they, kind of discuss. This when the Trig discusses, he isn't being who he think he should be or being who he truly is, and Shad tells him, listen, it's better to live. To not live the life you want to live and, not live a lie versus living a false life. Some shit he said. I don't know. Shit sounded stupid. But Shad, shut the fuck up. Don't tell that man. Let that man be who he need to be, man. The best version of himself, man. He don't need to fucking be running around secretly messing with trainees. Listen, if he gonna do it, just come out. What fucking face the consequence. But as far as your professional life, what you gonna do, man? You gotta do something, bro. Life is about elevation. You gotta elevate to the next level, brother. And listen, you got over Imani like this. You obviously didn't give two fucks about her. You could find another girlfriend. The one that understands you. He's talking about this girl, my soulmate, and all this bullshit. We see Chad leaves out, and he comes outside. And dude, when did he get this Impala SS? This shit raw as hell. I'm like, yo, this motherfucker got an SS old school Impala. We see Jabari walks up on him just right then, and they have a heart to heart, and he's like, yo, I discovered what I want to be, and Chad's like, yo, me too. I think I'm gonna open up a vintage store. And I realized I was old when he pulled out the CD and Jabari didn't know what it was. And I'm like, damn, CDs really came and went. Because I remember the transition from tapes to CDs, and everybody was just like, this ain't going to happen. Like, ain't nobody about to be fucking around with tapes or CDs. This shit ain't going to work. And sure enough, it worked. We see Q get killed. He opens the door, and dude decides to shoot him and do him off. And his last words is like, I knew you wasn't shit. So rest in peace, Q. I don't see how he got taken out that easy, but the old dude is back. Thank you. Post your comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell as always. Peace, love, and prosperity. I am the Black Abstract. One.